Yo, before we get into it, quick reminder, please support the fan inspired shirts in the store right under the video, all inspired by the subscribers. Love y'all. And as always, a no show again. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. No soul. No soul. What's going on, tribe? I was speaking to a YN the other day, my boy's nephew. He's talking on the phone. I'm like, yo, tell nephew I said, don't listen to women with clothes on and don't listen to men that listen to women with clothes on. You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, what's that dirty folks in the background? Like, yeah, like, let me talk to him. So when he got on the phone, I hadn't spoken to nephew in almost a decade, since whatever year Extension died. And when last time I saw him, he had a season like me. I see him on FaceTime, he got dreads all the way down his belt buckle. I'm like, yo, what you a driller now? He was like, nah, I'm trying to be like my grandfather, a Hebrew Israelite. And I was like, all right. And he was like, what you got against Hebrew Israelites? I was like, man, I just told you. Don't listen to girls with clothes on and don't listen to guys who listen to girls, right? So, and he was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yo, bro, Hebrew Israelites, a bunch of dudes that run around the forest shirtless, trying to sleep with single mothers, talking about polygamy with a bunch of baby mamas. And I can't worship a religion whose dictate is black woman is God.
Yeah, I say the black woman is God, and
It just doesn't sit right in my spirit. I'm like, but do you, right? Like, well, yeah, sound like some goofy shit. Anyway, but shout out to the Hebrews. They cool people, but religion based on woman worship just don't work for me, right? And that evolved to other topics, right? So so then gets to asking me about fidelity. And I'm like, he's like, because men and women be cheating. I'm like, yo, men can't cheat. Men can only lie. He was like, men can cheat. Men and women can cheat. I said, yo, men can't cheat. Men can only lie. And he was like, how you figure that? How you figure that? I said, okay, go talk to a girl right now. She gonna ask you if we got a girl. You be like, nah, I'm single as a dollar bill. She gonna be like, boy, you lying. Give me your number. You know what I mean? Because they don't care. Like, men can't cheat. Women want to compete. Women want to be with men that other women want. And women want to be with the same men. To quote Chris Rock,
if a guy introduces his boy to his new girlfriend, when they walk away, his boy goes, oh man, she's nice. I gotta get me a girl like that. If a woman introduces her new man to her girlfriend, when they walk away, her girlfriend goes, I gotta get him. And I will slit that bitch's throat to do it.
so man, men can't cheat. Men can only lie and be like, I don't have a girl when you got a girl. Now she mad because you lied, not because you cheated. She would have been down with it. You probably talked yourself out of Folsom. Then he started questioning my unbending, unyielding misogyny. Like, oh man, you on that man stuff with other people, you gotta respect, you know, gays and women too. And I'm like, no, I don't. I do not. Like, I have to make sure that I'm comfortable. I'm not gonna make myself uncomfortable so somebody else can be comfortable. Like, why can't I crack a gay joke? Why can't I talk about, like the FAGs? Like, why I can't crack a joke? Why you can't roast them? You're like, man, because it'll hurt their feelings. I said, I don't give a fuck. Who cares if their feelings are hurt? But they most sensitive. No, they not. They more violent. Why can't I hurt their feelings? I'm like, you can crack a joke about any other man because he got glasses, because he got pimples, because he got a bad haircut, because his shoes ain't matching. You can roast a dude for any reason, but I can't. I could roast you for dealing with fat girls, but I can't roast you for sucking it. Like, are you serious? Like, yo, the way that y'all self police is crazy. He was like, yeah, man, because you can't talk about gay guys no more, and you can't talk about lesbians. And I'm like, ain't no such thing as a lesbian, bro. And I'm like, yo, it's no such thing as a lesbian. He's like, it is lesbians. I'm like, there's no such thing as a lesbian. Man, girls are, man, I be sleeping with lesbians. I said, think about what you're saying. You're sleeping with a what if she was a lesbian, you couldn't sleep with her. There's no such thing as a lesbian. Being a lesbian is another way that women want to be like men. Because only men can be gay. Spitting on a girl, that so what? Like, you know how many things you suck and lick on a daily basis that is not erotic at all? How many foods? How many times you lick your fingers to get the sauce off? Like, titties ain't nothing. Like, babies eat titties. They suck titties, and it's not even a sexual thing. Like, yo, there's nothing intrinsic about that. So he was like, he talked to my boy, like, you believe what dirty folks saying? He was like, yo, all them girls need dildos, so they still won't dig. It really ain't no such thing as a lesbian. So he mad. He disputing. I said, bro, it's just women wanting to be men. He was like, so what if she dressed like you, got a haircut like you? I said, then she's a tomboy, my nigga. Like, man, we been smashing tomboys. They help you build your little tree house, and then y'all play tag, and then you go play house. Like, bro, tomboys been here since before. Like, don't worry about that. So he can't get over the fact that the whole flag thing only goes one way. Then we talked a little bit longer, and then it occurred to me. I said, you know what? You grew up with all the gay propaganda, all the women are strong propaganda, and I gave an example. I said, for instance, I graduated from high school in the 1990s. You had to have certain criteria to graduate. You had to know the Constitution to get out of eighth grade. You had to have X amount of credits to get out of high school. In 2001, George Bush Jr. came out with No Child Left Behind. It didn't occur to me because I'm no longer in school. Like, I don't, it didn't affect me. But now you look 25 years later, there's a 79% illiteracy rate for all these kids from No Child Left Behind. So really, all kids got left behind, almost 80% of them. I said, man, the propaganda is real. You grew up thinking all women supposed to be fat. You weren't born when all the girls were pretty. The Holly Berries were everywhere in LA and Miami. Now you look at them Miami videos on TikTok, all the girls fat and ashy. Like, you grew up in a time in which you were taught wrong. Like, everything you were taught was backwards. I said, even the TV shows, Ernie and Bert turned gay. They weren't gay when I was a kid. Like, Squidward and SpongeBob and everybody turned, like, all that got introduced to you. They normalized dysfunction to an entire population, and your belief system is based on bad propaganda. You went all the way against natural law to embrace the new normal. And now you're trying to preach to me the new normal, telling me that I'm archaic. And I'm like, nah, I'm just simply a regular man. Like, you have to understand that we grew up on propaganda shows where all the gays are funny, right? Three's Company, Who's the Boss? He wasn't gay, but he was cuckold. Too Close for Comfort, Spin City, like all the sitcoms had the funny gay. We grew up where all the husbands got cuckolded. Whole Good Times, James Evans getting cuckolded. Cosby Show, great show, but Bill can't even eat a sandwich in front of his wife. And they normalized this with you. White boys too, because Roseanne was checking people in, and King of Queens, his wife was checking them in, and it got you believing that women really dominate you when they need you for everything. Most of these girls would be homeless if men didn't contribute to her life. Like, you got everything back, because he was like, well, what about good?
Happy days.
You know what I'm saying? They had Arthur Fonzarelli. They like the bad boy. I say, yo, Arthur Fonzarelli was a 30-year-old man sleeping with teenage girls. He should have been in jail. You know, hitting on jukeboxes, getting free music. That's theft of services. Arthur Fonzarelli was a felon, and he was celebrated. The same way y'all celebrate drill rappers now. Ain't nothing new under the sun, but you gotta understand that that's wrong. That everything that they're glamorizing to you is wrong. I'm telling you right, but if you don't want to listen, do your thing, young man. Rumble, young man, rumble. Anyway, I had that interesting discussion with young YN, with my homie nephew, and I figured, man, I dropped a couple of gems, share with Tribe. Man, once again, man, support the shirts, support No So Organic, of course. Love your brothers as you love yourself. Beat the pack, Tribe up.
Women hate women. Guys are not like that. Guys actually think there's other fish in the sea.